Welcome guys to a brand new video on Wuthering Waves. Now in today's video I want to show you guys a couple of gameplay footages of Cartethyia when you've actually invested into her. She is absolutely crazy. She is absolutely cracked, and honestly, if I was to talk to anyone, I would say, yo, this is the only character in the game that you should even think about S3 in. Okay, it's as simple as that. I don't recommend it to everyone. Honestly, she's already an expensive character. You want Chikona, you want a weapon. Actually, if you S3 her, you don't really need Chikona. You don't need Chikona, basically. So essentially, S3 in this character is going to do absolutely amazing stuff. Now, again, if you take a look at the sequence buffs to the character, it becomes even more crazy. So we take a look at that as well in today's video. So Cartethyia is absolutely crazy and crack if everything is going. If you have literally everything for her, if you have Cartethyia, her weapon, she is absolutely cracked. Now imagine you get the sequences as well. It's a whole different ball game, but at the end of the day, this is something that many players will not even be able to do. However, even myself, okay, I've said this multiple times before whenever I talk about this, even myself, I don't care about dupes. Okay, I don't care about any characters dupes, but I have seen the difference, okay, or the bonuses you get from getting the characters dupes. I am absolutely tempted in finally using my Afterglow Cora. Okay, I was thinking, you know what, I might as well use it to get extra pulls, but I honestly think this is a terrible investment. 152, this is basically the entirety, well, I've used a couple already, but this is essentially the entirety of my summons in the game, and it's just been boiled down to 150. No, when you can literally get 2 copies of Cartethyia right now, and all I need to do is summon an additional copy, or maybe in the future get S3. Okay, but honestly, absolutely crazy character. So first of all, let me go ahead and show you this over here. So first of all, we go over to Pridewind, which absolutely amazing website right here, where we can see the damage differences and the review. So best DPS in the game, built-in interruption resistance, self-sufficient, heals herself, applies and amplifies error erosion, difficult to hit as a good chunk of her rotation is spent in the air. Wouldn't that just be in the cons then? But anyways, lots of swap cancel window. Honestly, don't care for that. Don't care. Room for optimization, screw that. I'm not doing that. DPS is so good at a baseline that even without a best team or best weapon, she still slaps anything in her way with good echoes. Of course, she is still very good even without Chikona, but you know, having that Chikona makes a difference, guys. Anyways, increasing the team resistance, interruptions, blah blah blah. Okay, so absolutely amazing character. She actually wants 4-4-1-1 rather than 4-3-3-1-1. So 4-4-1-1 is the best for her. And then if you go over to the calculations where you can see the damage bonus, okay, now it is important though that you do read this over here, because it's not as crazy. Okay, sequence 2 is not as crazy as it seems. Okay, so this is S0 and S1 doesn't really buff it up by a lot. Okay, only a 13% increase, not crazy. But then you see S2 and you say to yourself, this is crazy. From 113% to 173, you're seeing this and you're saying it's absolutely crazy. It is. However, there is something important to note. Cartethyia sequence 2 increases the amount of erosion stacks she's able to apply, while also allowing her to stack them up more conveniently after her ult. This is incredibly potent in a vacuum, but weaker when she's in a team that have Arrow Rover. Right now, a lot of people are going to be using Arrow Rover anyways with Cartethyia. So although it shows a significant buff with S2, it is not going to be as good if you're using Arrow Rover, which you're going to be currently using. Maybe in the future we will get a different Arrow character that we can pair well with Cartethyia. Okay, that doesn't offer the same utility as Arrow Rover. Well, the same stack increase effect. So basically the stack increase effect, in this case the sequence will offer less of an increase. So originally we're seeing this is over like 60% increase in damage, but that's without Arrow Rover. With Arrow Rover, it's not going to be 60%. And then you take a look at S3, that is also a freaking huge insane jump as well. This sequence further improves this Cartethia's error erosion application, allowing her to keep maximum stack. Once more, if you already have teammate helping her with amplification, for example Chikona, and maintenance such as Chikona, this sequence will be less impactful. So essentially, the reason why S1, well, S2 and S3 exist is to make her a solo character. She does not need Error Rover, she does not need Chikona, and you can clear everything with her alone. Okay, at S3, you can clear TOA by herself. Now, there is a video right here of someone clearing TOA. Now, this is though S6 though. It is S6 and R5. However, it is supposedly still possible to do that at S2, S3, since she basically doesn't need any teammate at all. So this is S6, of course. I think it's when they do the ult that they absolutely shred. So let's just pay attention to this. Honestly, I want to try and just use her alone, and then she uses the ult, and I'm pretty sure there we go. Absolutely freaking disgusting. So honestly, if you are a whale, this is, or even if not a whale, or you're considering, she is the character that is the easiest answer to whale for. S3, and you have yourself a solo character, and essentially you can use her with other teammates in the future. She's not reliant on error erosion from anyone. You can use future like arrow buffers in general, or future basic attack buffers in the future. It would work well. In fact, you can even use her with you can use her with Shorekeeper now, and you can use her with Sanher, Shorekeeper, and Cartethyia at S3, possibly. I'm not a Fury crafter, so I don't know how insane the damage will be, but I'm assuming it's going to be good. So since you don't need Cartethyia or Chikona, but already if you already pulled Chikona, you don't necessarily need to go and invest into S3. But knowing she can basically become a solo character, needing no teammate, is crazy. Okay, it's absolutely crazy. And then finally S6, guys. At S6, she's the best unit, hands down. I want to see how much different is this to other DPSs. Okay, so you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna quickly take a look at this. So the best DPS right now for single target is like Carlotta, but maybe it's Cartethyia. No, it's maybe Cartethyia now. It's probably Cartethyia. Let's go ahead and just quickly, I don't know if we can compare the calculations. It's 92. Okay, so we can calculate compare. So this is 92k S6, and probably with teammates though. Well, they're all with teammates. Go over to calculations over here as well. 108. So that's the maximum damage. Okay, that's crazy. Let's take a look at another character. Actually, compared to the 1.0 character Gion, does he have a calculation? Oh, Gion, you are ass, my boy. Actually, wait, is this total damage or per tick? Even still, damn, Gion is a character that I would not be recommending. Let's actually, Carlotta, Camellia. Let's see what you are like as well with the calculations. 72. Huh, okay. Cool. Gion is a character, like the old characters, they were not good for S, like to max out. Honestly, I would not max out any of the older characters now. Seeing how insane seeing how insane Cartethyia gets, it's actually crazy. Solo, basically, solo Donzo. Oh my days, I'm actually thinking about S3 in her, but I do need to get her weapon, so I'm going to top up a bit. Maybe I'll get some packs. Which pack should I get? Maybe no, not this. I needed weapons, so probably this one. I get this one over here. Anyways, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think, but she is a character that hits amazingly. Sorry about the background noises. Hopefully you guys can't hear it, but I'm pretty sure you can. So yeah, S3 R1 is going to be crazy character, absolutely nuker. I'm actually thinking about doing it. I shouldn't have sold for Chikona if I knew this was going to happen. I would have skipped Chikona and just go all in on Cartethyia. Like, I would happily max this character out, but I'm not rich. I'm not going to S6. There is someone out there who got S6 with like 60 pulls. Freaking insane. I could do one multi, right? I could do, or I could wait for Lupa. Is the decision now. It's the decision. crazy. It's been your boy AC Gamer, and I'm out.